Well, that's the end of Season 1, alright.
Sooner than I expected, but I enjoyed that. That was quite a good finale.
Yeah. So this is Apprentice Part 2.
Ooh! It is kind of doing that DC Animated Universe thing of only doing multi-part episodes at the end of seasons.
Kind of, yeah.
I don't know what the other seasons are like, but that's what's happening just now.
So, after the last episode, Robin is Slade's apprentice now, currently tasked with retrieving weapons under his orders. The Titans end up finding him doing just that and refuse to believe he's actually a criminal. Of course, he's doing this just to prevent Slade from hurting them, obviously. But afterwards, on the second time the Titans find him stealing something, they try to stop him while fighting him without actually hurting him. But he refuses to answer anything they say and just keeps fighting. Eventually, Robin ends up pointing a thermal blaster at Starfire, who decides to give up if Robin is truly evil. But then Robin tries to explain himself. However, Slade activates the device to use the probes to destroy them. So in order to stop it, Slade forces Robin to attack them, and he does so. However, that attack made it apparent to the Titans that something was wrong. And when they find the probes inside, they quickly realize this is why Robin is working for Slade. Meanwhile, Robin ends up attacking Slade in his lair, to the point of pissing him off. He eventually subdues Robin again by threatening the Titans, and it almost works until the Titans themselves appear. They explain that they know what's going on and want to fight regardless. But when Slade activates the probes again, Robin decides to give himself those probes, thus forcing Slade to destroy his device if he wants his apprentice to live. He does just that, and Robin attacks again, this time destroying half of Slade's mask. But before he can see who is under it, Slade escapes, taking down his lair on the way out. Then the Titans end up getting rid of the probes and decide to celebrate at home. And the episode just ends there.
Yeah, the end of the episode was a bit abrupt, but as season finales go, that was pretty solid overall.
Yeah.
I mean, we go directly in from the end of the previous episode where, Cyborg mentioned it's been 45 minutes since Robin went missing, and he's already armoured up, and Robin's out robbing for Slade.
Robin is, in fact, robbing those places.
That was the pun I was trying to be subtle about, but yeah.
Screw subtlety.
Screw subtlety, it's a superhero cartoon.
Yes.
They find Robin out robbing, and somehow, even though all the other Titans are well lit, Robin standing slap bang in the middle of them is still completely shrouded in darkness until the thematic moment. I don't know if this is a bat trick or some aspect of Slade's armor that means you can be bathed in shadows at any time.
His armor is just that cool.
Yeah, that kind of evil armor that comes with its own sinister shadows.
Yes. It's in the instruction book.
I have to say, I spent quite a few times in this episode going, Robin, stop threatening the man who can kill all of your friends with the push of a button.
Yes.
He probably already knows you want to kill him. You don't have to keep telling him you want to kill him. He knows. That's why he has murder bots in your friends' bloodstreams.
Yes. Robin did not think this plan all the way through.
No, I mean, admittedly, he's a kid and he's very angry because the guy wants to murder his friends and is making him trot around in, creepy mini-me armor and keeps reciting the plot at him. Okay, I will say, as you already know is a device that I hate for catching people up with stories, I kind of understand it's necessary if you're doing a heavy serialized story in an otherwise non-serialized cartoon.
Yeah.
It's necessary, but I still hate it as a device, and I hope that more often just various stories can figure out ways to have the characters tell each other information that the audience doesn't know, without just having to recite things that the characters already know each other.
So Steven Universe it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm holding everyone up to the standards of Rebecca Sugar now. It's impossible, but... Oh yeah, the bit that gave me very strong feelings was quite early in this episode when Slade is getting his creep on and he's like, maybe someday I'll even be like a father to you. And Robin just goes, I already have a father, and then there's a shot of some bats flying away.
Nice.
I am deeply and incredibly weak for found and adoptive family stories, just especially characters who are finding loving and supportive family and using it to go against abusive or outright evil family. There's at least 3 characters in Young Justice who have that kind of plot. It was part of what made Zuko's story so compelling in Avatar. And to be fair, Batman is not the most emotionally stable or supportive human being in most mediums.
No.
But I am still just, I also don't think I've seen any other Batman adaptation where Robin outright refers to Batman as his father. So that was just like 3 seconds of being extremely emotional.
But what a 3 seconds they were.
I know, right?
Oh, by the way, speaking of which, did you notice that the second place he stuck into was Wayne Enterprises?
I extremely noticed that. And I don't know if Slade knows Robin's secret identity or not. If he does, I would not put it past him to send Robin to rob a Wayne Enterprises facility just to be a dick. It's like, you already have a father, eh? Go steal his stuff. Just to be an utter fucking asshole.
Yes, I do kind of love that they have this whole thing in Wayne Enterprises, and it's never even referenced. It's just there.
No. Well, you don't even ever see the sign in full. Most of the fight, you're seeing the sign from behind, and then you only get like a full shot of the entire sign after the A and the Y have been destroyed.
Yeah.
So you never see fully set on stream Wayne Enterprises. And I don't know if this was their thing, if they're trying to avoid having a lot of Batman stuff aside from Robin in the show, because Batman does inevitably tend to take over anything he's even referenced in.
True.
So, it might have been just that they were trying to keep a little bit of distance, but having the references in there, because Robin is definitely the one Titan that everybody knows the backstory and surrounding world of, because it's inescapable.
Yeah.
So you can get those references in, and they're not going to lose anybody in the audience. And even if someone somehow doesn't know, with it like Wayne Enterprises, Bruce Wayne's company, and Robin's related to it, it's not like it's a hugely relevant part of the battle, so it's not going to throw you out the episode if you don't notice it.
Not really.
You don't lose any plot if you don't notice it.
I don't think I actually did notice that the first time I watched it.
So yeah, I don't know if Slade did that on purpose, but I could see him doing that on purpose to be an asshole.
That's actually one of the main things I got from this episode, is that Slade was really, really creepy.
Oh, Slade is so fucking creepy.
I think half of my notes here is just creepy Slade quotes.
Most of my notes on Slade being creepy are later, because I've still got a few more things about the rooftop battle, and just before it. Like, I love when the team's theorizing what could be wrong with Robin, and Beast Boy's bringing out all these comics with, like, a robot Robin and a zombie Robin.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I genuinely can't tell if they made those up for the cartoon, or if those are real things that happened in, like, the early 60s.
It could have. Who knows?
Because the 60s was a weird fucking age for comics, and I quite regularly see people, now that a lot of comic franchises are getting a bit more widely known thanks to movies of varying success levels, let's say, there are some people who have been passing around some of the weirder comics moments.
Yes.
Just to go, yeah, that really happened. So honest to God, I don't know if Robot Robin or Zombie Robin ever really happened, but it would not surprise me.
No.
And poor Starfire is so fucking... Oh, I love Starfire a lot on many levels in this episode. She's the one who's most hands down determined not to believe that Robin betrayed them. But even then, the others are all kind of like, he betrayed us, but why? None of them are thinking Robin's just straight up evil. They're all like, has he been replaced? Is he being influenced somehow? Why would he betray us?
Yeah.
Which I think is nice, that it is a nice wee sign of trust that even after Robin's been a bit, kind of an asshole over some of the Slade stuff, not one of them is suggesting that he's actually just, like, evil.
Yeah.
And then, and the Wayne Enterprises roof battle is pretty cool, and it is kind of fun to be reminded that Robin is the only one without superpowers, and yet he's kicking all their asses.
Yeah.
But that long shot of Starfire, who's charging up a blast, and Robin charging up a blast, and them staring each other down very steadily.
Yeah.
There's some great artwork in that bit, especially on Starfire, and the kind of cool lighting on both of them. And then I just, I feel my entire heart swelling with feelings for Starfire when she just hands down her gun and she's like, if you're really evil, just do it.
Yeah. This series is just a never-ending sympathy for Starfire.
Oh, I love Starfire so much. I'm adopting her and keeping her forever.
Yes.
Well, this is the point where Slade starts losing his supervillain brownie points, because the stupid move here is that he's got all the nanobots on the same signal. I know he's put the same nanobots in all of them, but after the way he super planned out everything else, surely there must have been a way for him to have them on different signals, because it's a waste if you kill all your hostages at once.
Yeah.
I mean, not only does he tip his hand to the fact that something is going on, you know, he's tipped off the Teen Titans to the fact that something is very severely up. You know, if you kill all your hostages at once, you have no leverage. That's why you take multiple hostages. He's completely failing at being a supervillain in that moment.
That is
Which
true.
is a shame, because he's been doing so well. This is not me speaking from experience as a supervillain, I should probably add.
How specific of you.
Just at this point, I may need a disclaimer. So yeah, I probably should have more to say about that fight, because it was a pretty cool fight, and there was a lot of intricate stuff going on there, but I just mainly got distracted by having feelings about Starfire.
As you do.
And, you know, and then you do see a lot of the footage of the fight again, because Slade, like the creepy fucker that he is rewatching specific shots over and over and over, like 40 of them at the same time. Like,
Yes.
you could just watch them one after another instead of having 40 screens and looping them over and over and over. But no, you have to be fucking creepy about it.
Yes, you need all the screens to show it.
You only have one eye! How many can you watch at once?
It doesn't matter, it looks cool. It's like having a layer filled with random gears for no reason. It looks cool.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the stockier things that Slade has done, and he's been pretty fucking stocky. But this is straight up having a creepy shrine to the object of your stalking level of stalky. Robin loses his shit and doesn't have the best line when he does. Just motivate this? Really, Robin?
Yes. And the best part is that it used one of my all-time least favorite cliches about TV shows, especially animated ones. The goddamn, we refuse to re-edit this for non-TV usage, so you'll literally see the exact same thing twice in a row.
Well, yeah, because we didn't watch this on TV with an ad break, so you literally just get, motivate this! Motivate this!
It's so stupid. That's always stupid. It's always stupid when that happens.
I really hope they fix that on the DVD collection, which...
I don't think they did.
At this point, I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy the DVDs. Like, I want to make sure I'm happy with giving them my money. And with many things that DC is doing these days, I am not happy to give them my money. But in this case, I will give them my money for this.
Cool.
But, yeah, just, if you want to be really kind, you could say maybe Slade is just rewound and watch that footage, because he's that creepy, he reaches through the fourth wall and watch Robin over and over again.
Yes, that must be
So
what happened.
fucking creepy. I mean, I do want to give Ron Perlman a lot of points for doing such a good job with Slade's voice.
Yes.
I mean, it probably helps that he doesn't have mouth flaps to work with. That's like, the voice actor's dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has such a creepy purr to Slade's voice, and
Yeah. Like.
yeah, it never did explain what was with all the cogs and gears. They're just there.
It's cool. He's cool.
Yeah, he has cogs and gears and very poor lighting.
Yeah. I honestly want to go to just like some of these quotes. Because, like, just out of context, especially, like, well, first of all, that sounds like a threat, young man. Quite a good threat, actually. Which is that's actually hilarious.
That was actually quite funny, because he just sounds so proud for a minute there.
He's so proud. When he talks about how, basically giving Robin the thrill of being a criminal, he just says, you're going to keep getting that thrill, and I'm like,
See, at that point, now it just sounds like he's selling Robin drugs.
Yes.
And the drug is evil.
Is this a really weird PSA episode?
Yeah, don't inject nanobots into your bloodstream, kids.
Don't do it.
I guess. But yeah, and again, Slade and Robin have one of those fights that they managed to make really creepy, because the background music is not particularly it's dark, it's tense, but it's not fast-paced. So it doesn't seem like there's any adrenaline or any real stakes to the battle. Robin's gonna get his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
Because Slade does the ninja vanish thing, and he creeps around, and he keeps kicking Robin's ass. Although at some point Robin does crack Slade's mask over, like, the one functional eye socket, which is cool.
Yeah. That was vicious, dishonorable, and ruthless. Excellent work.
Actually, no, I just realised from my notes I remembered it wrong. Most of this fight, there is no background music, which is even creepier. Like, the dark background music only comes in when Robin tears off his Slade symbol, which, again, I understand that you're very angry right now, Robin, but your friends still have murder bots in their bloodstream.
Yeah, maybe you didn't think all the way through. You really didn't.
But thankfully, the team does turn up right after the single creepiest line Slade has ever uttered. And from now on, I'd like you to call me Master.
No, that's not what makes it creepy. What really makes it creepy, right before that, he just says, "Good boy." Like, ugh.
Yeah, that's, the way he says it and the context in which he's saying it, everything is just, it's so creepy.
Robin needs an adult.
Robin desperately needs an adult, but 4 angry teenagers will do.
Yes.
And I have to say, when they burst in, and given that they'd found out the nanobots before, I thought maybe they'd figured it out and gotten the nanobots out of their bloodstream and then come to rescue Robin. And then for a second when I found out that no, they still have nanobots, I'm like, oh my god, you idiots. And then part of me is like, you precious idiots, you knew he could kill you and you went anyway to save your friend.
Yeah.
Oh.
It really goes all in towards the sort of friendship motif or friendship theme by the end.
Which is just a nice positive balance to how fucking creepy Slade is.
Yes. And it also leads to maybe the funniest, unintentionally funniest part at the end. Robin's realization of how they're different is that Slade doesn't have any friends. I love that. Slade has no friends. He's forever alone.
Haha, Slade no friends. Oh, poor lonely bastard.
Yes.
But it is it does get quite intense when Robin just grabs the evil force lightning ball till he gets full of nanobots too, and then he's just like, if you kill my friends, you gotta kill me too. You can't creepily stalk me anymore.
Yeah.
And Slade hauls off because he can't stand not getting to stalk Robin anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
And it is nice when they're, it's a nice feeling. Again, it's cheesy as fuck, so why did my heart swell when Robin went, Titans, go! And they go into battle together. The show has got me accustomed to the cheese and emotionally invested. Shit.
It certainly has.
And yeah, there's the nice triumphant kicking Slade's ass and smashing the half of his mask where presumably he's just, being that it's Deathstroke, he's got a missing eye, so that half of his face might look kind of fucked up, which is why he runs away. Or maybe they're just saving it for a future episode somehow. Or maybe he's just got to be that shady. You still don't get to see his face. It's still cloaked in those pocket shadow he carries around with him.
Maybe I should point out at this point, just so you're not disappointed later, they don't really go further in depth with Slade past this, even though he's still pretty important for a while in the series, but this is kind of it. Like I think the series, after a while, intentionally didn't want to give away too much about Slade, so, he's kind of a mystery in the series in a way. So, you don't really learn too much more about him, really.
Do you ever see his face?
No.
So just keep him shady Slady forever.
Yes.
I wonder if they were ever planning to do more with him and didn't get to, or if they just liked having this one really shady fucker they could whip out whenever they wanted to be mysterious.
I don't know. Maybe the latter.
Because, that's valid. And if you're saying he doesn't have any intense plots after this, it's kind of, it gets a bit wearying when you have an incredibly shady character when they're a heavy plot focus for a long time. After all, it's like you gotta give us something. But if this is his heaviest plot, then...
It probably is, but he's still pretty important as the series goes along. He's just not the only important part. Fair
enough. The escape sequence also, I really like the escape sequence. Just, again, it's one of those things where they're doing simple but incredibly stylized artwork that, just with the red and black flashing lights and you just get the glimpses of the Titans as they escape. And again, really just kind of dark, tense music.
Yeah.
That looked really cool.
One of my favorite parts was actually when Robin has no choice but to attack Starfire with the blaster. It was just a perfect way to end a scene. He just says, "I'm sorry," and then there's this giant blast just takes over the screen.
Yeah, that's how you want to end a scene.
Though that might be my biggest disappointment, though, is that, they're already hurt, and he's supposed to attack it with this ridiculously powerful blaster, but then it just ends and the Titans seem to be fine. What was the point of this. Why did that really not hurt that much?
It was a good cliffhanger for the ad break. I think we did kind of, when we saw Robin using it, I don't think he hit any of them dead on with it.
Yeah, but at the end he clearly did. So it's just weird.
It might be that, like, the laser thing wasn't as powerful as Slade made it out to be, because again, if you kill all your hostages, you have no more hostages.
Yeah.
And then the ending is a little abrupt, but it's cute. I love how Raven's the one who's like, shouldn't we celebrate or something? Like, my other precious child, who's like so not into partying, but she's like, well, my friends are all okay, so probably. I have questions about, I think Beast Boy mentioned making tofu waffles. Now, vegan waffles are a concept I understand, but why was there meat in your waffle that had to be replaced by tofu?
I don't know.
There isn't meat in waffles. Meat doesn't go into waffles.
No.
Milk and eggs, yes, that's why you have vegan waffles, but tofu waffles? What?
I don't understand.
That's the most confusing part of the episode for me, honestly. The episode leaves me wondering, tofu waffles?
The world may never know.
We do also get a last bit of Robin and Starfire being extremely fucking cute together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they're meant to be a couple or best friends endgame, but they're really adorable.
I almost forgot. I really, really enjoyed the fighting in this episode. It just looked great. Just all of it.
The fighting in this show looks better every episode, honestly.
Yeah, kind of. But especially this one, it was like just... And there were like a bunch of fight scenes, and all of them were just super fluid, and just like...
They were fluid, they were very creative, they were, active.
Yeah.
And yeah, especially when they're doing funky lighting, like anything going on in Shady Slady's base.
Yes. Slade with his magical shadows.
Yeah, that's his superpower.
Yes.
The shadows.
The shadows.
Which, he doesn't use for any interesting or powerful ways like Raven. He just uses them to be shady and creepy.
Yes. But yeah, I think that's all we can say about this one.
At this episode, yeah, but, the season as a whole, I was not totally sold on Teen Titans when I watched the first couple episodes. I just kind of had faith that a lot of people who recommended me good cartoons before had told me I needed to watch this, so I'm like, maybe it just didn't have a good first episodes. And it didn't have great first episodes, but it did do much better once it started picking a character focus or a relationship focus for each episode. And just building... Because again, building... What I'm just going to call the wacky hijinks of the episode around that character or relationship. Because, weird shit happens in superhero stories. That's what they're for. What gets people interested, even through the weirdest eras of comics, like the 60s, is the fact that because they're so long running, they build really interesting characters and character relationships. When there's good writers involved, at least.
Yeah.
So, if it gets anything that gets you... this is across basically any medium, but, superhero stories tend to have really long histories behind them. But just in any medium, you can get away with any amount of just bizarreness and plot weakness if you have really good, strong characters and character relationships. And, you'll never guess that my favourite character is Starfire, but, I adore her. But I like all of them, and all of them have pretty clearly defined relationships by the end of the season, which, even though it's only 13 episodes, is actually pretty impressive given that it's that short. Yeah. And allows them to really sell all the power of friendship cheese in the last episode.
Yes, it does.
Because that cheese doesn't sell if you haven't already sold the friendships.
True.
So, at the end of the season, I understand why everyone else who was giving me superhero shows wanted me to watch this one. And I look forward to Season 2.
Yes. Season 2 is, from what I remember, is actually better than Season 1, for the most part at least.
I'd expect that.
Yeah. Mostly in that it doesn't have any obnoxious episodes.
That's always good.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's all we can really say about this at this point.
Well, we've saved like half an hour's worth of stuff, so that's probably enough talking about cartoons for today.
For today.
What am I saying? There's never enough talking about cartoons.
Never.